Hi guys, what a perfect time since we're in coronavirus epidemics, apparently, and quarantine, to talk. I made a Facebook post today on sunlight and the power, focusing on our health generally, but you know, the power of the sun cannot and should not be underestimated, and we should never get bored of listening to information and getting more sun and figuring out the science and the theories behind why the sun is so fucking powerful. So, what have I done today? It's coming up to 12:05 a.m, which is solar noon time. It's about 20 to 12, and I'm prioritizing now solar noon because that is when the sun is highest in the sky, and that is when we start making the UVA and UVB. Now that we're in the end of March, we can make vitamin D. The reason why we can make vitamin D is because there's UVB that's started to come into the sky, and the highest UVB will always be when the sun is highest in the sky. So that's why I'm out today, grounded, Kaniki shorts, so my testicles getting it. And actually, I was doing it like this, arm sleeves up, like that, and my chest and gut. My gut's really important. You know, I've made videos before on the gut and why the gut needs to be exposed to the sun. So, I want to talk a little bit about sunlight in terms of your skin. Actually, your skin is not just a giant solar panel, our eyes being the most important solar panel, but our skin is secondary in a very huge solar panel. So the more skin we expose, nudism being the ultimate way, the more skin, that's why I'm doing as much as possible, the more skin you expose, the more energy from sunlight you can attain. But the skin isn't just a solar panel, it's an endocrine organ. Endocrine means it, like an endocrine gland, you know, like the adrenals, the thyroid, and pituitary produce hormones. Well, the skin is an endocrine organ too. So I want to emphasize that point to you, and I'll explain why your skin produces hormones. One of the most famous being, start here, with vitamin D, which we can now make even in the northern latitudes, even high up northern latitudes. It's the end of March, and there's UVB in the sky, which makes vitamin D. Vitamin D is so powerful for everything. I've got really good books on it. I wrote 50% of my book on sunlight and sun gazing was on vitamin D. It changes your personality, improves your skeletal structure, improves your muscles, improves your immune system, improves your brain function. It protects from heart disease, protects from cancer. It does a lot of things, and there's a lot of science to come through it. And then there's UVB that's independent of vitamin D, but I won't go too off track. So vitamin D is the hormone that's produced. The more skin you expose to the sunlight at the solar noon time, when there's UVB out, the more vitamin D you'll make. This is why I'm doing this. Vitamin D, very powerful hormone. Other hormones would be estrogen and testosterone are produced on the skin. So when the sunlight hits the skin, you get estrogen, you get testosterone, two important hormones for male and female sex hormones that are for optimal health for men and women. So to get the right balance and to make a lot of testosterone, especially for guys who don't make a lot, then struggle with that, and that's endemic in society. Less manly, more health problems, more heart problems with low testosterone, more brain problems, Alzheimer's, dementia. So to protect against all those things, to feel amazing, to feel manly, to feel like you can face your fears, you need more testosterone. So that will give you solar noon. Using your skin as an endocrine organ, it will make the precursors for estrogen and testosterone of your woman and man, a bit of both, because men have got estrogen too. Very powerful sex hormones. So we've covered that. We've got vitamin D. We've got on the skin for the solar noon. By the way, you can Google solar noon for times. Estrogen, testosterone, really important. Dopamine and serotonin too are made from sunlight, from the UVB rays of sunlight. The ones that are the solar noon, spring, summer, and autumn sun. And these are happiness hormones. We want them in optimal amounts. We don't want too much, and the sun never makes too much. It makes optimal amounts. It always optimizes it. That's important to note. So you're going to have a lot of serotonin, dopamine. Dopamine's important not just for motivation, but also to keep the body still and calm and peaceful. It's very key for movement, and so you don't restless at night. You need a lot of dopamine. Serotonin's for your mood, and also huge. Serotonin is not just what you think it is for your mood and your brain. It's huge for the gut, which is why it's really, I do extra, and I recommend it. If you can, it's not too cold, to get your gut exposed to the solar noon, because the gut, the skin, but the skin above the gut will take the serotonin and precursors you make and put it into the colon, and the serotonin is key for colon health, for colon peristalsis. Basically, for good bowel movements, you need a lot of serotonin that's produced preferably from skin over the gut, because if it's produced from serotonin in other areas, it takes a little longer, a little less to get to something's lost. So what I've noticed, and I made videos on this before, check them out, is if you want good bowel movements, really good bowel movements, healthy bowel movements, solar noon, get your gut out at solar noon, 5-10 minutes as long as you can, at that time, before, after, the smack on solar noon time, and get your gut exposed, and you'll make a lot of serotonin, not just for the mood but for the gut, so the peristalsis will be good and you'll be able to have a cleaner colon because you won't have constipation. A lot of people could solve constipation easily with doing the gut protocol over at solar noon, exposing their gut 5-10 minutes at solar noon. That's a very easy one. Very interesting. So we've done serotonin, dopamine, testosterone, estrogen, vitamin D, and also oxytocin too. I did a Facebook post on it today, so I'm just reminding what I wrote, what I read. Oxytocin is the love hormone, the feel-good hormone. That's made too from UVB, solar noon sun, when it hits your skin. So the more skin you expose, nudism being the best, the more skin, the more happy you get. How cool is that? You got the dopamine, you got the serotonin, you got the oxytocin, feeling great. You got the estrogen, you got the testosterone, you got the vitamin D, and lastly you've got beta endorphins too. UVA and UVB, I can't remember which one. I think it's UVB induced vitamin beta endorphins, which are feel-good chemicals that make us feel good. It's why being in the sunlight at the beach, midday sun shining on our skin, you know, just with the swimming shorts on, feels great. The more skin you expose, the more beta endorphins you make, and the more high you get. So like a high, it's crazy. Beta endorphins, we all know that feeling of the runner's high. Well, you can replicate that with sunlight from solar noon. Pretty cool. And also lastly, nitric oxide too, which is a really important signaling molecule and cleans up free radicals, and it's produced from UVA. UVA, and the most UVA you'll find at solar noon again, and UVA is made on the skin, so the more skin you expose, the more nitric oxide you make. And nitric oxide in the skin has 10 times more nitric oxide compounds in the skin than there is in the blood. It's almost like it was designed to go from the skin, from the sun, to your blood vessels, where it relaxes and dilates the blood vessels. And it's key to lower the blood pressure and to prevent heart diseases and keep you healthy, relaxed, and in parasympathetic activation. So there we go. That is the benefits of getting out at solar noon.